Imagine this for a second. You wake up tomorrow morning, open your notebook, and somehow, you've already made progress. You didn't feel inspired. You didn't watch a motivational video. You didn't chant affirmations in the mirror like a movie character. Yet, progress happened anyway. Sounds suspicious, right? Almost illegal. But this is exactly how learning works in Japan for millions of students. Not because they're smarter, not because they're born disciplined, and definitely not because they wake up excited to study calculus. It's because they use a learning system that makes progress almost automatic. And today, I'm going to break it down in the simplest way possible. No fancy psychology words, no productivity jargon, just real ideas, real examples, and maybe a few moments where you realize, wait, I've been doing this completely wrong. Let's start with a hard truth. Most people don't fail at learning because they're lazy. They fail because they're relying on motivation. Motivation is like that one friend who says, "Bro, I'm coming," and then never shows up. Some days it's there. Most days it's not. And when you actually need it, it's busy doing something else. Japanese learning systems don't trust motivation. They don't even expect it. Instead, they design learning so small, so structured, and so boringly consistent that progress happens whether you feel like it or not. The first big idea is something called small daily steps. In Japan, students don't sit down thinking, "Today, I will master math." That's terrifying. That's how you end up scrolling on your phone instead. They think, "Today, I will solve 5 problems." 5, not 50. Not until I feel productive. Just 5. Here's the funny part. 5 problems don't scare your brain. Your brain looks at it and says, "Fine, I guess I can survive this." And once you start, something strange happens. You finish the 5 problems. Sometimes you stop. Sometimes you accidentally do 2 more. Either way, you won. Progress didn't depend on your mood. It depended on showing up for something tiny. Now compare that to how most of us learn. We wait for a perfect study session, quiet room, perfect playlist, high motivation, strong coffee. That moment rarely comes. Japanese systems assume your day will be messy, your brain will be tired, and your motivation will be missing. So they build learning that still works in that reality. The second big idea is routine over intensity. In Japan, studying is treated like brushing your teeth. You don't wake up and say, "Do I feel motivated to brush my teeth today?" You just do it, because not doing it feels wrong. Learning is built into the day the same way. Same time, same place, same length. Not dramatic, not heroic, just normal. Let me give you a simple example. Imagine you study English. Instead of saying, "I'll study English whenever I have time," you say, "Every day after dinner, I study English for 20 minutes. Not 2 hours. Not until you're exhausted. Just 20 minutes. Your brain starts to expect it. No decisions. No debating. No procrastination. And when there's no decision, there's no resistance. This is huge. Most people burn energy deciding whether to study. Japanese systems remove that decision completely. The third idea is something that feels almost boring, but it's incredibly powerful: visible progress. Japanese students track everything. Not in a complicated app. Not with colorful dashboards. Sometimes it's just a calendar with a check mark. You studied today? Check. You didn't? Empty space. And here's the magic. Humans hate breaking streaks. Once you see 5 check marks in a row, skipping day 6 feels painful. Not because you're motivated, but because your brain doesn't want to ruin the pattern. Progress becomes visual. Effort becomes visible. Consistency becomes satisfying. It's like a game, but without flashing lights. Now let's talk about something that might surprise you. Japanese learning systems are not obsessed with speed. They don't rush. They don't cram everything the night before. They focus on something called repeat before you forget. Instead of studying something once and hoping it sticks, they revisit it many times, lightly. For example, a student might review yesterday's lesson for 5 minutes, then last week's lesson for another 5 minutes, then move on to something new. Short reviews. Often, this makes learning feel easier because the brain recognizes the material. It's not starting from zero every time. Most people do the opposite. They study something intensely once, then never look at it again, then panic when they forget everything. Japanese systems expect forgetting. They plan for it. Now let's add some humor here. Imagine learning is like going to the gym. Most people show up once, lift weights like a superhero, can't move for 3 days, and then quit forever. Japanese learning is like lifting very light weights every single day. No drama, no injuries, just slow, quiet improvement. And over time, that person gets stronger than the superhero who never came back. Another important idea is feedback, but not the scary kind. Japanese students don't wait for big exams to know if they're doing well. They get constant small feedback. Did you solve the problem? Yes or no. Did you understand the sentence? Mostly or not yet. Small corrections, often. This prevents something dangerous, false confidence. You don't walk around thinking you understand something when you don't. And you don't feel crushed by one giant test. Learning stays calm. Now let's talk about effort. In many places, effort is emotional. You push hard when you feel inspired. In Japanese systems, effort is mechanical. You do the work because it's scheduled, not because you feel like it. And here's the ironic part. This actually makes learning more enjoyable. Why? Because there's no guilt. If today's task is small and you finish it, you're done. You can relax. No voice in your head saying, you should be doing more. That piece matters. Let's bring this together with a simple daily example. Imagine a Japanese-style learning day. You sit down at the same time. You review yesterday for 5 minutes. You do one small new lesson. You practice a few problems. You mark your calendar. Total time, maybe 30 minutes. No suffering, no exhaustion, no motivational speech. And you do this tomorrow, and the next day, and the next. After a month, something shocking happens. You're better, not because you worked harder than everyone else, but because you worked when others were waiting to feel ready. This system respects reality. It respects that humans get tired, that life gets busy, that motivation disappears. Instead of fighting these facts, it works with them. Now here's the part most people miss. Japanese students don't think in terms of goals. They think in terms of systems. A goal says, I want to be fluent. A system says, I study 20 minutes every day. Goals are exciting for 5 minutes. Systems quietly change your life. And when you focus on the system, progress becomes automatic. You don't wake up asking, am I improving? You know you are, because the system is running. Like a factory or a conveyor belt. You just put in small effort, and progress comes out the other side. So what can you steal from this? Start embarrassingly small. Fix a time and place. Track your streak. Review often. Stop trusting motivation. That's it. No secret talent. No superhuman discipline. Just a system that doesn't care how you feel today. Because feelings change. Systems don't. And once progress becomes automatic, learning stops feeling like a battle. It just becomes part of your life. Quiet, consistent, and unstoppable.